spy agencies don't always hide people. Sometimes they leave them exactly where they are, and still, no one sees them. Not because they've disappeared, but because nothing about them triggers attention anymore. This isn't theory. It goes back decades. Cold War intelligence, CIA, MI6, KGB, places like Berlin, Moscow, Beirut, high surveillance environments where everyone is watching, but nobody can watch everything. And that created a problem, because surveillance doesn't track everything. It tracks what breaks pattern, what feels wrong, what doesn't belong. So intelligence agencies didn't try to make people vanish. They did something more subtle. They built controlled normality. Not disguise, not escape, consistency, behavior that never breaks expectation, movement that never interrupts pattern recognition. Because once a watcher builds a mental model of normal, everything inside it gets compressed into background noise. And then the modern layer. 2024, 2025, Iran, Israel. Both sides claiming deep infiltration inside each other's systems. Not surface-level spying, embedded presence, long-term assets, hidden inside infrastructure, waiting. At the same time, reports describe covert preparation inside Iran, months of positioning, before any visible action ever happens, meaning the operation often begins long before anything actually moves. And none of it works through disguise alone. It works through integration. Identity systems that survive verification, behavior that stays within statistical limits, movement that never forces escalation. Nothing extreme, nothing that triggers attention. Because surveillance doesn't follow everything, it follows what stands out. And in crowded systems, Tehran, Beirut, major global cities, attention becomes overloaded, signals blur, data stacks, and the system begins to filter. Not because it is broken, but because it has to choose what matters and what doesn't. And that's the gap. Because once something is classified as not important, it stops being tracked with precision, stops being escalated, stops being followed. Not unseen, not hidden, just not selected. And that is the part most people never realize, because nothing here requires disappearing, no escape, no vanishing act. Just a system where someone can exist in front of surveillance, inside active intelligence conflict, and still never cross the threshold of relevance. And once you understand that, you realize something unsettling. The most effective invisibility isn't escaping sight. It's never becoming important enough to keep watching. So subscribe to the Spy Lines for facts, not fiction.